Hello there and welcome to Automation in beamng.drive. Today we're doing something a bit bizarre. We are making a Italian pickup truck from the 90s. Sort of like the Lamborghini LM002, but not, it's a ute. Actually the LM002 was kind of a ute, so we're gonna go treated steel, monocoque, HS steel, front longitudinal, and double wishbone on the front, and leaf spring on the rear. As for the engine, we're going to be going with that's 90 degree, we want 60 degree V12, and it's going to be a 3.6 litre. So we're going to want to bring the bore way down, and then de-stroke it to get the final bit of size reduction, that's the word. Just the usual internals for the engine. So just forged stuff. Gonna make it torquey. Don't want to add a turbocharger, but we might end up having to. Let's go twin configuration for the injectors and a performance manifold. Now it's going to be Italian, so usually they go with tubular manifolds, exhaust manifolds, or headers, whatever you want to call them. We're going to be going cast because it's a ute. Dual exhaust, three-way catalytic converter, no first muffler, straight through second muffler. Still quite loud. Still a bit sick from last video. This is only recorded 2 days after that. I haven't recorded the rest of it, so I haven't recorded the actual track stuff and the car jump yet. So what do we need to do? Lower the manifold. Yeah, we need a turbo. Turbos, please. Thank you. Dual. Why would I not want dual? Hey. Absolutely tiny turbos.
One eternity later.
See how it goes. That sounds very good. Okay, so we're going to want 4-wheel drive, manual. It's a Ferrari 6-speed. No. Well, it's not Ferrari, it's just Italian. But yep, 6-speed. We're gonna want not too long, and then we're gonna want it quite short. Even though we've got a range box, but we're still gonna want it short anyway. We're gonna want a manual locker, radial tires, all terrains. Gonna want to beef up these tires, make the diameter around 860mm, should be fine. Then 225s on the rear, 225s on the front. Seems good. Widen out the stance a bit. Steel rims, because that's what you want on a utility vehicle. Then we're going to go on vented discs on the front and prey on the rear as well. Not entirely sure how much weight is going to be over the rear. Then off-road skid tray, gonna want more cooling, and then brake cooling as well. And then we're gonna want luxury interior, because again, it's Italian. And then probably, yeah, probably. No, we're gonna want, considering hydraulic ball, but then variable hydraulic. It sounds more Italian, plus more luxury, so we're gonna go for it. Traction control and ABS, standard 90s safety, and then progressive springs, gas monotube, and passive sway bars, because semi-active doesn't really work too well in beamng. Neither does adaptive or semi-active damper. We could go active comfort suspension, and I think we will. And then utility preset on the suspension. It's given us some oversteer, sorry, but overall looking good. If we want to make this a bit more like the LM002, no, overall I think this is a good starting point, and I will see you at the end of the time lapse. Starting off, I was in a call with Rue, so he told me body was crap, so we're now using the Chariot body, or however you pronounce it. Just doing some morphs, and just some general tuning things, as well as changing the engine. So it's now a bit bigger, naturally aspirated. Bit early on the whole engine thing, wasn't I? Oops. Anyway, so now we're starting on the headlights. I decided to go with an Alfa Romeo look, which didn't end up turning out right, so you'll see a bit later that it looks a bit different afterwards. But yeah, so just trying to make the Alfa Romeo look right. It never quite worked, but I really wanted to do it because I love the look of those cars. Like, they were designed to be ugly, and I love them still. Even though they were designed to be ugly. But yeah, so just classic Alfa Romeo grille. But as you can see, when I get to the lower grille, I just can't figure out how to do it. It's just completely impossible, to me at least. So I try replicating the circle lights. That doesn't work out, so I decide to replicate the front end of a Ferrari 512M, because why not? Yeah, so got the good old smiley with the old Ferrari logo there. Try to do the indicators. Those indicators don't end up working, so that, and also the circle lights, they don't end up working either. So it's not the 512M I was doing, but it looks like the 512M as well. Oh wait, no, yes it was. I completely didn't see that in the reference picture. But yeah, so 512, got the front splittery thing, which I end up covering up with a license plate so it doesn't look as just alien compared to the rest of the car. Ooh, blinding indicators, that, yep. Good idea, me. Good idea. Tried to fill in this blank space at the side with a grill, but I got talked out of it. Surprise, surprise. Onto the door handles now, and I spend a solid minute just trying to find the right one. Because why not? Because that's just how I roll. Yeah, and then I assume after this I did the mirrors, and discovered that the weird looking mirrors in the game are the Diablo mirrors. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. First we recolor the entire car to make it better, faster, stronger. Other words, I don't know. Onto the wipers, and now onto the mirrors. And you should see, yep, around underneath the check mark, at some point, I don't know, in that area, you can see the weird looking ones, not the circular ones, but the other ones. I have the charisma of a grape. And now onto the most egregious offender of this car, the tail lights. I decided to go with the Diablo tail lights because it's funny. Only reason. I also did the fuel filler cap during this time, and I just realised my microphone wasn't plugged all the way in, so sorry for all the weird microphone glitches. Completely my fault. Anyway, just looking at more tail ends of Italian sports cars, trying to figure out what to do. I added in the old license plate area, trying to figure out what to do with the exhaust. End up going for the Gambella exhaust, or whatever they're actually called, don't remember. Doing some more tuning, and then adding in the license plate. Oh goodness, yeah. I decided to put it in the empty space there, and then decided against it, and just used it to cover up the splitter, as I said. And yeah, now we go on to fix the tail area, using the hatchback, like, I don't know what it is, that hatchback thing, and you'll see later on I also use it to put a certain something on top of it. You won't see it in the time lapse, but you'll see it in beamng. Added the antenna, I believe, and then I continue trying to add vents to the side. Again, get talked out of it because it is silly. And yeah, that's the end of the time lapse. See you all. And here we are in beamng.drive with the Nichia Ricolta, which stands for niche pickup. By stands for, I mean in Italian, it means what I just said. Anyway, we are on the east coast of the USA, because I assume that Rue will be making a more American-orientated car. Yeah, let's drive it around the sawmill, see how it goes. So, did a little bit of... This thing is absolutely loud, let me turn that down real quick. Now that I can think... Yeah, this thing has a 3.6 litre naturally aspirated V12 now. I changed it during the time-lapse with some of Rue's input. So it is now naturally aspirated V12. After the time-lapse, I gave it a basic interior. Interior cam doesn't work because I'm a numpty and didn't add it. But yeah, so, you know, just it's very slapdash, as you can tell. We've got red leather for most of the interior, we've got some carbon because we can. 4-wheel drive, so I made sure to add the range selector. Manual, of course, we've got all 3 pedals. Even remembered to add a rear view. What I did forget though was I forgot a tow hitch. Yeah, that sucks, but oh well. Yeah, having a look at the engine, it just looks like classic Ferrari engine, to be honest. Overall looks good. Of course, good being subjective. But yeah, from the minimal testing I did out earlier, it drives pretty well. It should be able to make it up here. Let me just turn on our differentials. That way we'll actually be able to... Oh, we've stalled. Ow. Ow. But it handles it pretty well. Pretty sturdy. Good old Italian steel. Sadly, this thing will be rusted in 5 years. Yeah, so let's just drive it around the logging site. See how it handles it. It likes to drift, which is nice. And in the lower RPMs it sounds great, but higher RPMs it sounds... yeah. Just sounds bleh. It does... I don't know how to... Let's get into the higher range. Listen to it for yourself. It doesn't sound exotic. Like, the low end sounds chunky, it sounds how I want this pickup to sound, but the high end, it doesn't sound exotic like it should. That did not go to plan. Don't ask me what my plan was, because I don't know. This thing can self-right itself. I'll use this ramp. So if we just go up the ramp... I said if we just go up this ramp... Here we go, perfect. Never mind. Fine, we'll do the usual YouTuber thing, we'll just stage it. We're neutral, it's fine. Alright, if we're on our side like this, shift it into first. Ta-da! Self-righting. Now, I've taken a road and turn off, so... to test this thing's real-world performance, let's go up this hill. Don't even need to go into low range. It just does it. And now, we just go on our intended path. I want to get to that outpost. Let's go up the rocks. Just through some shrubbery. Mind the tree so you don't get caught in it. Because beamng physics. Down a gear, and you gotta miss shift, you gotta make sure you do that. And you're up. Huzzah! But Chromatic, I hear you ask. What if I don't want to go 4x4ing or off-roading? I've got a solution. We've got a base trim. It comes with a 4.1 litre flat plane V8 with a limited slip rear differential and sports tyres as opposed to the manual locker and all-terrains of the 4x4 version. As such, it can do skids like this. It also comes with a little spoiler on the back. And, just some cheeky lemon arrow in the front, ignore that. Cheeky skid. Nailed it. Only took 7 attempts. It's even got enough power to do this. Power! Nailed it. Compared to its 4x4 counterpart, its rear suspension has been swapped out to be multi-link, as opposed to leaf spring. Let's see how well it does on the drag strip. Now, there's not really any ute bodies inside of automation, so we're just going to go with maybe just a stock bolide. How much power does a bolide have? Oh, that's surprisingly low, actually. What about the GT bolide? There we go, that's more like it. What's the 0 to 100? Yeah, this will work. Now, this thing also has a race trim. Someone accidentally put nitromethane inside of the fuel tank. It also has all-wheel drive and a bigger rear wing. You'll see that in a... When the hell did you get staged? The heck is button 1? Come on, buddy, stage up. There you go. Huh. This thing is just slightly better than a bolide, apparently. Yes, my favourite. So I beat him by 1.6 seconds, wow. Huh. So I hit top speed of 120 mile an hour, meanwhile he hit 112 mile an hour. Now, let's try the race version. So this thing has a measly 850 horsepower, or rather 840 I believe, versus the top speed bolide's about 804. See how we do. No contest. Okay then. Wow, okay. So, oh goodness, it's an 8-second car. I've built an 8-second car. Oh no. So is that 153 mile an hour versus 155? This thing is rapid as well. If I just do a quick hot lap around here, like, you'll see that this thing just absolutely zooms out of corners. Its brakes leave something to be desired, but other than that, like, you're slow through the corner, but out the corner you're beating any Kia Picanto. Like, no match. Like, Hyundai gets the hell out of here. Why am I comparing it to microcars from South Korea? Good question. Cannot ask? Cannot answer you. Just casually cut the chicane there, but like, you'll see this thing has insane top speed. If we can just get it turned in, there we go. Like, it has, like, all the power is in the top end, there's basically nothing low down. But, like, it just goes. We're nearly at 300 kilometers an hour. Just easy. Again, brakes leave some stuff to be desired. So, starting off the time trial, we are going around the Utah River Rally. Doing a great job with the transitions, and for goodness sake, it's not set up, it's not set up. Let's just restart that. Doing a great job with transitions and stuff, yep. Yeah, so we're going to be taking it down this rally stage here, which goes across the river a couple times. So, only going to be doing the time trials with just this car and just this time trial, because I feel like our beam section has been going on quite a bit. And yeah, so let's see how it handles this course. So far, pretty good, despite despite having that leaf spring rear suspension. Ouchie. Yeah, despite having that leaf spring rear suspension, it handles the bumps quite well. Like, I mean, it can get quite bouncy back there, but other than that, not much of an issue. Yeah, so after this we're going to be jumping all 3 versions of the car off of the car jump arena. If you want to drive this car, link is in the description to my Discord server. I'll have a Google Drive link in a new section I make for it. Most likely be called My Cars, and you can download it from there. Yeah, coming through checkpoint number 10 out of who knows. Car's going pretty good. Jump there. Handles it pretty well. Could make a rally car out of this, but I probably won't because I don't like making rally cars. I mean, unless you want to see that. Could make a Group B. Oh, wait, no, Group B died by now, didn't it? Did Group B died in 1994? Died by 1994, rather? I cannot speak either, goodness. Why'd I choose to record a video now? Missed the checkpoint, no! Yeah, the version that you'll get on Discord will have fixed interior cam as well as a added tow bar. Coming up to the line now, it is a 224.272 rather. Pretty good if I do say so myself. Time to jump these things off of a ramp. Predictions, what do we think it is going to do? Oh goodness, this thing does not like being in rear-wheel drive apparently. So depending on the top speed will depend on what I think, but I'm thinking at least 300. Does weigh quite a bit, 1,500-ish. Ooh, it is front heavy. That is not good. Ooh, wow. 425. Was not expecting that. Like, I mean, I said like 300 and something. That's definitely not 300 and something. Does it still drive? No. No, it does not. If that got 425, then surely this gets 450. Like, there's no way it doesn't. We are going faster, so that should help. And we've got the rear downforce as well. Shorter, wow, okay. That was about 370. Interesting. And then, goodness, the race version's gonna go like 500, isn't it? Let's see how the race version does. Don't want to go too fast off of that. The race... That's why you don't want to go too fast off that. The race version has more downforce, so hopefully it doesn't poop itself as much. So I'm predicting 500, hopefully. Nope, it's doing worse. Yeah, 525 as well, or maybe that was 515. I don't know. Yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. As I said before, link to my Discord server is down below. If you want to converse or if you just want to download my car, fine by me. And yeah, should be a race version video with the race version up against Rue and maybe one or two other people, not sure. Should be up sometime soon, not entirely sure when, because this video isn't even going up for another week, at least until after I've recorded this. So that was a heckin' lie. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Would very much appreciate it. And yeah, good night and goodbye.